you as a black man in this community would not boycott a Chinese-owned business.
Not just me, but
If y'all are losing money due to the fact that the black community are boycotting y'all, and with the Chinese restaurants having all of these orders and no one show up and pick up whatever, just letting y'all know that this motherfucker right here is the one to blame it on.
If black people want to boycott Asian American businesses, they should, because black people have been fighting for their and everyone else's liberation.
Morning, Joy, baby.
Morning.
Thank you for stopping by today. You called me right after the Rick Child's verdict acquitted. He was found not guilty. You called me to reassure that you, as a black man in this community, would not boycott a Chinese-owned business.
Not just me, but the blacks in San Francisco in general.
Right.
I feel that even though it's a tragic loss for that family, even though the verdict was just unbelievable, remember, we cannot get sucked into a society of going against each other. We could throw darts at each other, but it will not be able to fix what we need to fix, is to come together. We don't have a time where that we need to have the proper mindset and the proper assurance that we both not just not retaliate, but really healing and showing love will beat the system that most white rules be.
So you also brought up this point that it's since we're living in a Western dominated society, it's the master plan for the people in the high ups to pin us against one another, right?
Exactly.
Pin us against each other. So if you come to think of it, you said it's beyond just a verdict. It's beyond just the story of Cyrus' death. Right.
Yes, very beyond. It shows that not only a young man can get shot, but it's okay to get away with it if he's black. I don't know in the Asian community or Chinese community, but I'm very sure if anything happened to you like that, it would not be clear cut. So we have to be mindful on how we see these point of views. If we cut each other's down, it goes deeper and bigger. Gentlemen, I hear you clearly, ladies. Listen to me. If we don't come together and we do not look beyond this point of saying, I'm going to let you see how we get away with it to make it okay for you to be more racist, and it's okay to be us more racist. The system, the higher ups, allow this to happen, so it shows you that there is no boundary line. In the Western law, blacks have been discriminated so much that it comes common to be inferior with Asians and Black Americans, which is not supposed to be. In San Francisco, we will not allow this boycott to happen. We will not allow racism to be in San Francisco. We will not allow us to be splitting. It's too much of us.
Why are they so mad that we just decide to retreat our money? It's because this is our first direct deposit as black people. It's a wealth transfer. All of that money that we were spending in their businesses are now going to black businesses.
Asians are negotiating. I mean, something interesting is happening as the boycott of Asian-owned businesses continue to dominate online. We are talking of the wealth transfer, redirection of black dollar back into the black community. Now, instead of simply criticizing black consumers, some Asian voices are calling for reflection within their own community. I mean, others are urging dialogue and trying to reassure people that relationships can still be repaired. But the question is, can black people forgive and start buying Asian products again? That's the question. And at the same time, many black creators are explaining why they believe the boycott matters and what message they want to send. So yeah, we have a lot in this video. But has this conversation entered a completely new phase? Are communities beginning to confront, difficult questions from within instead of pointing fingers somewhere else? Well, that's exactly what we are about to explore together in this video. So please, brothers and sisters, stay with me as we break down these reactions and examine, both sides. What exactly are they trying to say? If this is your first time, please subscribe so we can have more of these discussions. Otherwise, let's watch and I'll come later for more commentaries.
If Black people want to boycott Asian American businesses, they should, because Black people have been fighting for their and everyone else's liberation in this country and have been at the forefront of doing so, and have been continuously treated with anti-Blackness and systemic racism. And so if you are Asian American, it is your role to go talk to your family, to talk to our community, and talk to your friends and dismantle anti-Blackness instead of complaining on the internet. Because people don't owe you anything. Black people do not owe you anything. You owe them. Literally, Black and Indigenous people are the foundation of this country in which we are immigrants too.
And let me say this, foundational Black Americans, it's not our responsibility to hold the Asians accountable. It's their responsibility. And I appreciate this creator, and watch what she say.
I talk the way you talk, and I swivel my head the same way you swivel your head. See, and y'all prove my point. Y'all over here mad. I'm using the same words y'all using because you use it so much, you normalize the damn word. Imagine hating the word so much, but yet you still use it on your own folks. And another thing, if you want to cancel all these business, by all means, go ahead and try to cancel every single one of them. Boycott every single one of them. Boycott the hair. Walk around with your bald ass head. Don't eat the Chinese food. Don't do any of that, okay? Because let me tell you, there is not enough Black-owned business for y'all trying to cancel everybody, boycott this, and let's not do this. You wouldn't survive. You would not survive in that community without all these other business. And then you're going to go, no one wants to invest in our neighborhood. Why do you think they don't want to invest in your neighborhood? Because you got your ratchety ass kids going around stealing everybody's shit all the time. Okay, go ahead, cancel all the business. I'm just saying what everybody's thinking. And you mad because you know I'm right. And then you go on national TV talking about, oh, how he was racially profiled and how everybody is racist. Well, had you fucking whoop your son's ass and made sure he wasn't walking around with a fucking pistol, he wouldn't be Mr. Child.
I'm tagging you because you're really stupid. I don't need to call you names or anything because I'm sure anybody that sees this video will do that anyway, and you're probably deleting all the comments, but you're insane. And I know that you're not mentally well. I can tell by the stuff that you're posting, but you don't deserve to have a platform. You are spreading hate. You are a dangerous person. Stop. Please stop.
Today, another one of my close friends was like, hey, you know, a nail salon right across the street from your kid's school went out of business, right? Dollar signs just started popping out of my head.
I don't have much to add to this H Mart Gate drama except for this. Black people staying in our business, I like it. Because regardless of what your position is on the whole H Mart, blah, 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 at least you guys are caring. Because at the end of the day, this whole H Mart scandal is about whether or not Asians should be welcoming to white people, and if assimilation or getting the goodwill from white people is the goal. You know who's been staying giving us that goodwill though, via drama and gossip? The Black community. And it's making me think about my immigrant mom, who was an engineer for 30 years, worked with a ton of racist people, but she said that one person who just seemed to really understand her was the only Black person on the team. And she was like, there's just something that, like, we just get about each other. And also, I think she thinks I'm cute. And that has never left me. I always think about that. So thank you for having our backs, Black community. May we return the favor.
Hey, what's good? I'm back. Hey, check this out. The boycott is real. Don't y'all take your ass into no more of these motherfucking beauty supply places. Find you a motherfucking Black or white nail tech. Stop going to these goddamn convenience stores that are owned by these Asian people who watch you like a motherfucking hawk. R.I.P. young man, Mr. Young Cyrus. R.I.P. You shouldn't be dead right now. You should be walking around here enjoying your life. Listen, we have sent these Asian folks' kids to college off of our motherfucking dollar. The black and brown dollar is very motherfucking powerful. And if we withhold that motherfucker from them, things will change. The boycott is real on these Asian businesses. Don't bullshit around, people.
Yo, just a quick PSA to all of the Asian business owners out there across this country. If y'all are losing money due to the fact that the Black community are boycotting y'all, and with the Chinese restaurants having all of these orders and no one show up and pick up whatever, Just letting y'all know that this motherfucker right here is the one to blame it on. He's the one that dared the black community to boycott Asian businesses. And now, instead of standing on business, the motherfucker himself decided to delete all of his social media and go into hiding. This is why a lot of Asian motherfuckers out there just bark out loud. When it comes to standing on business, they shut the fuck up.
As a Southeast Asian woman, we need to have a very real, very uncomfortable conversation about why some of y'all are big mad over black people boycotting Asian businesses. Because the defensiveness, it's not it. It's making me boycott. What really killed me is seeing East and Southeast Asians suddenly demanding nuance. Like when a boycott happens, everyone is quick to scream, but wait, you need to separate us. Southeast Asians aren't the ones doing this. Reminding y'all that I'm Southeast Asian. We want black people to perfectly categorize our ethnicities to protect our feelings. But we completely ignore the collective harm being done. We use deflection as a shield. Let's look at the facts. Let's go over the facts. Black people were historically denied loans to start their own businesses within their own community. While non-black immigrants like us, we were approved for those loans. The system intentionally created a dynamic where they take their dollars, and then we don't reinvest it into their community. We reinvest $0 back into the black neighborhoods. And when consumers get tired of being racially profiled or disrespected by store owners, they have every right to boycott us. They have every right to boycott Asian businesses. If you are upset about a boycott, you are falling for the oldest trick in the playbook. Model minority myth was literally invented by white supremacy in the 1960s. This was literally used to form some sort of racial wedge to minimize black liberation. When you protect capital over human rights, you're just running the playbook that they want us to run. We are literally trying to appease our oppressors. If you don't want people to treat us like colonizers, stop acting like one. So before we start policing how they react to anti-blackness, Southeast Asians especially, okay? I'm looking at y'all. We need to speak up for our black brothers and sisters first. Period. At the end of the day, we're Asian. And what we need to do is tell our cousins up in the East exactly why this is happening. Do I agree that it really freaking sucks the way that East Asians do look down on Southeast Asians? Yeah, it really sucks. But you want to know why that even happens? You want to know why that even exists? You want to know why colorism even exists in the Asian community? White supremacy. Stop siding with our oppressors. So instead of crying about a boycott and begging for separation, check the anti-blackness in your household. True solidarity means knowing when to shut up, listen, and do better.
Fork found in kitchen, not surprised. Jason the Ween has said the N slur numerous times before, even using it as an Instagram caption years ago. He also claimed he cut off an influencer because her friend said the N slur, and she didn't hold them accountable. Yet now he's caught in that same position himself.
I just fucked on this Nix guy. His name was Nix. The last time I said the N-word, I really don't remember. I don't be saying the word. It's probably like 2 months ago. I sung it in the shower on accident.
Shizuku, bro, did she ever do you wrong?
Brother, Shizuku said the N-word. Wait, no, she didn't say the N-word, but I was on FaceTime with her in London, and her friend was just ripping at her, and she just did not have a reaction. So I'm like, yo, do you say it too?
That's why I find this so hypocritical. Despite this history, Jason the Ween has continued to receive major opportunities like Streamer University, while holding everyone else to a much higher standard. He's quick to criticize and put other people down, especially women he doesn't like. yet struggles to apply that same accountability to himself. It's a clear double standard. More importantly, no non-black person should ever feel comfortable to say the N slur. The fact that incidents like this keep getting brushed aside has made people numb to non-black people using one of the most dehumanizing slurs in history. This isn't just a word or a joke. This has never been something cool to say or a replacement for friends. It's a slur that has been used for generations to dehumanize, degrade, belittle, terrorize, and discriminate against black people because of the color of their skin. The continued normalization of non-black people using the N slur has contributed to the ongoing genocide of black people that is happening right now. I don't care if you have black friends, grew up around black people, or someone gave you a non-existent past. It has never been okay. Instead of making excuses, people should be able to acknowledge why it's harmful, hold themselves accountable, and learn from it. With that being said, I want streamers to do better and use their platforms more responsibly. I'm not asking every creator to become a full-blown activist, but I do expect people with large platforms to have basic humanity, empathy, and morals. At this point, it's exhausting how normalized racism, misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, and even ICE jokes have become within the streaming community, whether people realize it or not. Those actions and words contribute to harming marginalized communities and influence the millions of people, especially younger audiences, who look up to them. We should expect better from the people we choose to support.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Now, let's talk about it. You see, just looking at what is happening here, I think this feels like a community trying to repair a relationship after years of tension, after more years of, conflicts. But the other side has already, made up its mind, has already made up, its decision to walk a different direction forever. I mean, there comes a point where saying sorry or saying let's fix it is no longer enough, because people have already made decisions based on their own experiences. Because, in life, there's some experiences you don't want to go through them again. So by trying to avoid going through them again, yeah, you may avoid to go back to some places, some people. You may wish, those relationships, once they are broken, you may wish they still become broken and never be fixed, because you are afraid to go through some experiences you thought are painful. I mean, black people can never choose to be disrespected again, even if somebody apologizes that, yeah, sorry. That is why people always say prevention is better than cure, because once the trust is broken, rebuilding it is never easy by saying, sorry, let's fix this, or forgive me, or asking anyone to come back. Once it is broken, yeah, it's hard to fix. So sometimes the damage has already been, done, and people choose to move forward instead of looking, back. Is something that we need to respect, that, yeah, it's their choice. Now, one of the biggest messages shared in this video is that some voices within the Asian community are no longer just blaming, black consumers. They are also trying to look inward, or like in their own community, asking difficult questions about identity, about relationships, and how their own communities respond when, concerns are being raised. And I think that's like a significant shift, because you see, in most cases, a meaning of change often, starts when people are willing to examine themselves, to search within themselves before pointing fingers at everyone else. So I think that's a good start. That's a good move. But the question is, even if Asians seem to be like they are regretting, they are apologizing, will black people go back to Asian? I don't think so, based on what they are saying. So another message is that many black creators are making it clear. They are explaining it clearly. They believe economic choices are one way to express, some sort of, dissatisfaction of how you are treated, of how you look at some things. So whether people agree with that approach or you don't agree, but I think consumers normally decide where they spend their money, and every community has that choice. So it's like, it's no longer about hate that, oh, you Asians disrespected us, so for that reason we will hate to buy from you. It's beyond that. It's now we have decided to buy from our own. And I also noticed something else. There are Asian voices in this video disagreeing with one another. Some are defending, the status quo, while others saying, no, we need to acknowledge that something is wrong within our community. There is somebody who quoted what another Asian was saying. That's why that scenario came, but not that this video we featured somebody who is disagreeing to this, but there was that. So I think that tells you that this conversation is much bigger than one person or one incident or one person who dared black people to boycott. It has become, a debate about trust, about accountability, and what respect should look like between community. It shouldn't be like, a one-way thing. But at the same time, there are also black voices explaining why they feel the conversation cannot simply end with a call for unity. Okay, it's not that easy. Once it is broken, it's not that easy that you can just join it overnight. No. Now, the argument is that unity has to be built on mutual respect, on, accountability and genuine efforts to address, concerns, not only during moments of public controversy. So they're trying to say, you cannot say sorry now just because you are seeing the panic. Your businesses are falling, your businesses are closing. They cannot, manage to sustain themselves because the majority were black people. So just because you are feeling this, there's no way you can say apologize. You can apologize. It's too late. The best time to appreciate black people was the time when black people were coming to you. So whether somebody agrees with that perspective or you don't, but I think it's okay. But I think it helps, explain why emotions remain so strong when these things are being discussed. Another point is that the communities are not, what should I say? Monolithic. Yes, monolithic. I hope you get what I mean. You see, the video shows different opinions, different strategies, different ideas about what should happen next, like moving from now. What's next? What's the next stage? What's the next approach? What's the next outcome? And what is going to be the result at the end of the day? You see, in the video, some people believe dialogue should come first, while others believe trust has to be rebuilt through actions before words can have a meaning. The thing is, Asians may be apologizing with their words, okay, but the apology shouldn't come from the mouth. The apology should come from the actions, okay? When the Asians start doing this. And there was somebody who said, there are millions and millions of black people in America. Possibly, not all of them are aware of this movement. Okay? Not all of them, as not all black people are aware of this movement. Okay? So, if some Asians are aware of what black people are doing, but some black people are not aware, they just have to, to be clever and make it up, start to treat people well. So that when, these black people hear about the movement, they should have like, oh, but, they are treating us well. That's one suggestion a black person said. But yeah, I think that can be against the movement itself, because the goal of the movement is not to train Asians to treat black people well. Black people are not bowing down. They're not actually needing somebody to respect them. No, they don't. They don't need. They don't need permission. They don't need somebody to look at them as people. They don't need that. Okay, they don't need that. They just have. They're just trying to treat you how you treat them. They're not trying to look for acceptance from somebody. So that's what somebody said. Okay. So I think that's a different thing to think about. Now, perhaps the biggest lesson from everything we have just watched in this video is that relationships should never be taken for granted. Whenever you are in a good relationship with some communities, with some people, with black people, you need to respect it. How do you respect that? Respect them the way they respect you. It's that simple. Okay? Not that they are respecting you, but you follow them. When they come into your shop, you disrespect them. I mean, just look at that. So when concerns are ignored for too long, for a long period of time, for decades, people can begin, changing their habits. Once those habits change, reversing them can become incredibly difficult. Like, black Asians are no longer looking at it as it's a simple thing. So whether this conversation leads to reconciliation, continued disagreement, or something entirely difficult, one thing is clear. The discussion has moved beyond a single event or a single incident of this Asian man daring black people to boycott, and it has become a wider conversation about economics, accountability, unity within the Black community, trust, and the future of relationships between, community. And that is exactly why, so many people are paying close, are paying, close attention to what is happening. We don't know what is going to happen next. People are looking at. So anyway, see you next time, and I'm proud of you.